What's up, everybody? My name is Asanda Makaka, the modern clever himself. Unchingile, umsuti, ihlubelihle nobalhlambanga. Abnaxhala kodwa nihlambile namhlanje. And welcome to The Journey. Listen, it's been a good weekend. It's really been a good weekend. A weekend without football, actually. A weekend without Ipagani. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's fine. Also, the other ones, abaya, those ones. Omeza. Apparently, Omeza, they didn't make it to the top 8. I don't know. I heard. Now, I don't know what's going on with football lately. But Omeza, which they are champs, by the way, the Nedbank Cup, they didn't make it to the top 8. I don't know how you become a champ, but you can't be in the top 8 of e-league. How do these things happen? I don't know. You know what? I'm getting down. But all I know is I am in the top 8 because the time right now is 8:30, meaning that it's after 8. I am there in the top 8. I qualify. And then Ipagania, obvious. Ipagania number 2. And we're okay with that. We're fine with that. It's not a problem. You know what? Let's let other kids be happy. Otherwise, apart from that, it's been a really good weekend. Weekend filled with beautiful weather. Really beautiful weather the weekend. And I'm pleased to say this weekend, there were no reports of izinto funny happening in East London. I'm proud of you guys. You guys did well this weekend. And yeah, man, how was the weekend for you? I want to know how the weekend was for you. And you can let me know on WhatsApp. Our number is 066-137-2723. Just let us know on WhatsApp what your weekend looked like. Also, you can join us live on Facebook, Keith Ngesi Radio. We're live there. We're also live on YouTube, Keith Ngesi Radio. We're live on our website, www.keithngesiradio.co.z. No, actually, it's .com. Yes, .com. We are not limited to South Africa. We are international. So it's www.keithngesiradio.com. We're international now. And then also, you can download our app on the App Store. It's Keith Ngesi Radio. So yeah. That was the weekend. I want to know from you. Comment live on the show. Let us know what your weekend was like. But mine was very peaceful in Sebenza for the whole weekend. And speaking of Sebenza, my guest today, you know what? A lot of people always ask me, Asanda, how does one qualify to be a guest on your show? Do they DM you? Look, I will headhunt you. When I want you on my show. And we were having a conversation off the show, and it was off air rather. And I told her, look, I've been studying your journey and just watching you from it. I feel like a stalker saying that. Actually, it's not like that. But I was observing for a long time, and now I observe. So if you want to get on my show, just know I'm watching. Just know I'm always watching, even if I'm not there. So this is somebody who works. When they say people work, I thought I work. I honestly thought I work. Guys, this lady works. One of the things that I adore about her and her work is the fact that this lady works so much. And this thing I like to say is, I don't like introducing people. Because introduce now people and it's a problem as anymore. So I'm not going to do that. I'll give you the chance to introduce yourself so that ubize isiduko ofuna uzibiza ubize iziteketi ofuna uzibiza ongazifuni uziyeke. I don't want problems. How are you, man?
I'm good, Asanda. I'm good.
Thank you for coming. Number one. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a long time coming. I've been saying that it's been a long time coming. It's just that you didn't know that it's coming. Now I knew. I'm like, you know what? It's going to happen.
And I've been watching the show. And I really like what you do. Putting entrepreneurs and giving them the platform to talk about who they are, because we are our company's bios, in fact.
True. That's very true.
This is a very nice platform that KNR has created with you. For us to put our story there so that we can find our clients properly.
Thank you very much. I like that. And you see, here's another thing. I like the fact that you're talking about understanding. I've always said that people buy from who they like. And in order for me to like you, I must know you. True. I mustn't just only know what I see on social media. I need to know you so that I can buy from you. But today is not about the business. Today is about you. Today is about you, because Tina, we just know this successful lady that we see on social media, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But now, I find that it's really important for people who follow you and your content that you put out and your journey as the successful woman that you are. I find it important for them to know where you come from. So speaking of that, where are you from?
I'll try very hard to separate myself from the business.
Okay.
And to answer you, I am from Mount Frey. My mother is from Mount Frey.
Okay.
Lihlubi, mama.
Oh, and you're only telling me this now.
I actually wanted to ask you, go to Lihlubi Labi. So my father is from Etabankulu.
Okay.
And then my mother's from Mount Frey. I grew up between Mount Frey, Tabankulu, Coxted. That's where my primary school was. I was in Coxted Primary for the longest time, then moved to East London for high school.
Before we get to high school, I want to know, how were you as a child? Because Abandu, you see them as adults now, and you're like, oh, okay, no, this is someone that my kids can look up to. But we want to know, before then, how were you as a child?
Before then, I think I was a very bubbly person, loud. Also, I was raised by 8 women and 1 guy.
8 women and 1
Literally,
guy.
my grandmother had 9 children.
Wow.
So all 8 of them actually raised me. So my poor husband has to deal with all 8 women that I instilled in me. Because, watching my aunts, I actually literally modeled each and every single thing that they did, or even took in their teachings.
Yes.
I'm Yamkela, Nkomo, Sokaliwe, my ghost, my aunt, who's like a goat to me.
Yes.
She is also Zenaye Nkomo Dlokweni.
Okay. Oh, so the dash vele, it's a family thing.
It's a family thing, and also I learned so much from her and how she moved, I just loved how she just elevated in her career.
Yes.
Holding it down as an employee, but also on the side, just doing the proper things that need to be done. And then shifting in between all of these women that are amazing, I got to be a person who's fun, loving, who's very supporting, who's also very supported.
Oh.
So I guess you could say that I am sure I'm 101.
What's your 101? I like that.
I'm 101 because I'm raised by a community. I was raised literally by a community.
Yeah.
So it just didn't take my mother and my father to raise me. It literally took the entire village.
And then for yourself now, here's what I want to know. Because if you're raised by different people, I think it's a bit difficult to find your feet and just find yourself, because we have a youth right now in South Africa whereby they're lost. They're looking up to the wrong people, they're looking up to the wrong things. So okay, what kind of person I am? Because there's so much influence. So for you, at that young age and growing up with the influence of all these great women, how easy or how difficult was it for you to just find yourself and be your own individual?
I think it was easy because all 8 of them, they taught me nothing else but God.
Oh, okay.
So all 8 of them, literally, they spoke the word, they sang. If my aunt, the first one I lived with, she was raising us through her baking scones.
Okay.
So also entrepreneurship has always been in the family. Also, so there's I grew up at the Ngomo store in Manfrey Mvuzi. We have a general store that's been there since, I think it's older than my mother even.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was ran by my great grandparents, who later on gave it to my grandparents, which my grandmother was the one who was taking care of it.
Yes.
And then while my grandfather was working at Depa Bank, so my grandmother was taking care of business.
Guys.
So she sort of would give everyone else the chores, the house chores, but my chore was always to sell at the shop.
Okay, so vele selling is your thing.
Selling is my thing. So they kind of embodied in me that of being an entrepreneur. Because on holidays, if I wasn't selling at my grandmother's general store, I was actually painting the roof because my aunt had bought a B&B in Matatiel. So we'd be painting, we'd be cooking for tenders. It was just a lot of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Yeah, so sure, it was easy for me to find my feet and to find who I am.
Yes.
Because the one thing that all of them had was God. So I identified with that
Yes.
I'm chosen, that I am wonderfully made
Yes.
in this body, in this image that I am. And also, luckily for me, because it's 8 people and one guy, all of them have different characters.
Yeah.
They all have different body shapes. Some of them are losing hair. Some of them have hair. Some of them are running businesses on the side, but still employed. Some of them are not employed, but they are making ends meet.
Yeah.
They are raising children. I mean, my aunt was taking children to university in Malia's Gons. This was like the biggest role model I could ever had. And one thing about her is that she always had 10 cents, 20 cents.
Yes.
So whenever I would go to school, she'd come back. She was at the bakery. Exeni, she's sleeping because she's tired. She had gone to the bakery. Exeni ayobhaka so that azophinda ayongena for uba makayothengisa ke ngoku iscones. Ilantuka zakhe iscones zakhe. And I would always just be phoned esikolweni throw just.
Are you committing to a crime on international radio? Because that's a crime.
Grab the 10 cents and poof at the door.
So I'll see, but basically.
You know what? I was taking my profits because also I was assisting. I was assisting with the door. Would always lick the bowls with her while she was just at home preparing for scones. And then obviously my older sisters, once the scones zazi go 20 liter, 5 liter that go out to go and sell or even go and deliver. Now we weren't able to do that. Our job was just to clean up after her hard work.
Yes.
So also that embodied that like money doesn't come easy.
True.
It doesn't come easy. If you want money, you need to work for money. So it was not so difficult to navigate through who I am and also to separate myself from chasing money. Because one thing about my aunt is that even though she had like 11 children in her household without a stable job, selling cakes, like her thing for us was feeding us and singing. And all her songs were gospel songs. Even when my sister wasn't feeling well, my sister would always put on her statuses in her old age now. She would always put my aunt's voice on her statuses. Wow. And you know what? Her all my aunts actually sing. Except for the little one. The goat doesn't sing.
Yes.
It doesn't sing at all. But all the others, the only thing, even with my grandmother, the only thing we knew was prayer, singing, and going to church.
Love it. I honestly love that. And now I want to know something. Growing up in an environment in Jalone, I think right there and then you sort of identify what you want to do in life, right? Because Tina, we grew up knowing that, okay, Ashap, you must get a 9 to 5, you must do this. Tina, we knew that, okay, either was a cooler, but now I'm going to expose my age now, but it was a matter of, so we grew up wanting to be teachers. Like, well, okay, when I grow up, I'm a teacher. And then you grow up and then you realize that tishala ndiyithanda because yanibetha esikolweni so andifuni uba yitishala. And then you're like, maybe I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, I want to be this, I've always wanted to be in business. Always wanted to be in business. And I've actually always wanted to do this and to just talk. Just that I didn't know at the time that a boy as a Kutsa could actually get to be on radio. So I only realized that I want to do this thing when I was exposed to it. So you were exposed to business your whole life. Did that shape you to saying, look, I want to own my own business. That's all I want to do. Or was there ever a point where you said, listen, I'm going to go to varsity in this Afumani degree and I'm going to get a 9 to 5 and this is how my life is going to be. So for you, was it ever a matter of, okay, there's a funda 9 to 5 and that's it? Or was it just business from the beginning?
It's always been business.
Okay.
but I forgot after university. I forgot
Mm.
along the way, but it found me because remember, this thing is within me,
Yes.
inherited. So in high school, when I saw that I couldn't get money from my mother when I moved to East London now,
Yes.
couldn't get money from my mother to go to the movies with the girls, hang out with my people. So I decided, okay, let me walk from Cambridge Onati to Southern Wood and save this money my mom gave me.
Okay.
And I sold sausage rolls.
Oh.
Sausage rolls moved, but now I needed money.
Yes.
Not as 2 rand, as 2 rand 50 the sausage rolls. Then I moved into still selling sausage rolls. Then I moved into selling earrings because I could see my teachers actually like wearing earrings. They like jewelry. And I had actually on YouTube, not YouTube, YoTV.
Oh,
There was
yes.
a show on how to make earrings. I'm just like, I can do this if this is all it takes. And I just searched to go to where in East London could I actually buy these things. And my mother was working in Vincent. And so whenever I would go to her, I would just shop around, walk around to see if there isn't a shop that actually sells the hooks, the
Yes.
slings that I was seeing, the wires. And I actually found one and I started selling from the profits of the sausage rolls. I started selling earrings as well.
How old were you at that time?
Might have been 14. Yes, I was 14.
14.
From the age of 13, actually. Yes.
I thought it was out now. This was Mama 18, 20.
No. 13, 14. Yes, growing up because I moved into East London. Maybe I might have been 12 or 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sure. At 13, what was I doing? Now I'm judging myself now. 13, I was wasting time.
And I was
honestly.
living in Southernwood, so my mother didn't like abandoned that are wandering off in the streets.
Oh, yes.
So we needed to be home. And also, there was too many of us living in a 2-bedroom apartment, so we needed not to alert the white people that there's a lot of us in.
And we're not going to skip over that. I want us to go there because I think it's an important part of your journey.
Sure, very true.
How did it happen that you had to be that many in that apartment?
My mother, she has a very big heart. And I've always grown up saying, I don't want her big heart. But I think I definitely inherited her big heart. So with my mother, she has 4 children.
Okay.
So I am the firstborn, and then we have 2 girls. And so my brother.
Oh, Ngundondo, brother, I got that dropped
No,
off.
who was tattooed.
Oh, okay.
My little sister, who actually works for me.
Hey, man.
Who actually works for me. We all live together. And then my mother actually moved to East London to take care of her sister.
Okay.
And in her taking care of her sister had 3 children.
Yes.
With her 3 children, now 4 plus 3, then when I was in Coxted, we were living with my aunt. And there were 6 of us there.
Sure, because money is going. Yeah.
The Ngoma family, whenever they attend an event, they exist.
So let me
tell you, and we're such a close-knitted family.
Yeah.
Because one thing I've seen from the 8 is that the 8 sisters is that they were involved in each other's lives and in their children's lives because they wanted what's best for them.
Yes.
So in Coxted, there was a lot of us living there, and then they moved to Mthatha with my mother. Then when they moved to Mthatha and my mother moved to East London, they all moved with her to East London, and then I came along. Now the 6, it wasn't even 6, maybe it was 8 in Coxted that moved in with my mother, also moved in.
Sure.
So now it was the 8, which includes the 4 kamama, there's the 3 kamakazi wami sifike seyikhona. Then there were those who were going to university and needed a place to stay here in East London because we have family. My mother's not going to chase anyone away.
True.
So we lived with everyone.
For how long?
The whole of high school and throughout university. Like there wasn't a year, there was a certain period where there wasn't a year we didn't have a graduate.
Yeah. Guys.
Literally, like year after year, it was just graduate after another. And one thing I loved about it is that even when I was struggling in university, my cousin, who's a doctor, She gave me her suit.
Oh,
And
wow.
at that time, I was literally failing. I was literally failing. And I'm just looking at this. She's like, oh, it doesn't fit me. You can actually wear this going to church and whatnot. And I realized while looking at this suit, I'm like, it's a very nice pink suit. But also, she wore this at her graduation. And I was wondering when I even get to graduation at the rate things are going.
Yeah.
And that year I pushed through. I pushed through anxiety. I pushed through the fear of thinking that actually I might not make it because everyone else now was on site. Next.
Ew.
I'm just like, am I even going to graduate? My little sister who found me at university actually graduated
before
me.
you. Yeah.
Pressure. Talk about pressure.
What was going on? What was the reason for such a struggle?
I just think while I was in university, I forgot. I forgot why I was there.
Oh.
I forgot why I was there. And while I was forgetting while I was there, concentrating on other things, I shift focus.
Yes.
I shift focus and found it hard to now balance social life and that of my studies. I wasn't even at high school like an AAA student.
Yes.
But at high school, I was a hard worker, and my teachers from Unati knew me because I went to Unati High School.
Yes.
From science to Unati. So when I got
science.
to Unati, yes, I actually went to science college.
Oh, now I'm done for the science.
A lot of my clients actually went to a science, which will tell you just how small East London is.
East London is small. But I'm happy that we find it small because of Iskol. Other people find East London small for other reasons that I'm not gonna mention. So I'm happy that we're saying, look, same school, that's the reason why.
That's the reason. I love that also. I love that also. I don't want to be associated with other things. So with university, I would even say to people right now because I have an NPO that assists with university applications. So I talk to grade 12s. Just the importance of remembering who you are, where you come from, and what you are working towards. Because at some point, I forgot that. I forgot what I was working towards. And, I wanted to be an economist. I wanted to be a businesswoman. I was even looking through the applications. But somewhere along the way, I just forgot that and stopped being a hard worker. Because what actually made me to get back on the horse was the mere fact that my little sister just graduated. The one who comes after me. And I could see that everyone else is getting to the graduation. So I need to get out of here. So it took me just sitting and realizing that even if I kill myself, I'm going to leave nothing. I'm going to leave nothing. So I need to work towards leaving something.
Yes.
So I really pushed myself and I passed. I remember my cousin always tells me, she always says that when I went to go write, because I was doing one subject this year, she says that I got out of the door and said, "Sayo pass."
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Sayo pass, a subject that I was dragging for 3 years, struggling with it.
But I like the confidence. So
I knew it in me that I've worked so hard. And my aunt was a teacher, and I'd always said, whenever I would come back from school, she'd always say, "Did you pass?" And I'd be like, I don't know. She's like, "But you wrote." So
exactly. How come you don't? It confuses me so much because now when I wrote my metric, and I was like, sharp.
Got this.
And then the night before kuphume results, and I'm like, okay, sharp, nandiyolala, good 19. And they're like, ulala kanjani but kuphume results ngomso. I'm like, because galon ngigqibile ubhala mna ndangalali ngona ndibhala ngoku ndiyolala ngoku because ndiqhibile. And they're like, but kaloku anxiety. I'm like, no, I don't. Ndiyazazi uba ndipasile. Only thing could have been. But I had so much confidence about the kakuhle because I was like, oh, BN and the the only thing I'm questioning is how many distinctions did I get? That was the only thing. Which I didn't get any. As you tuned as posting 1%, I was like,
did well, you got the bachelor you were aiming for. So
that's it. Now, university, you were able to graduate after obunzima obungako. Here's another challenge that a lot of people are facing. people graduate and they stay at home.
Yeah.
Umuntu ahlala ekhaya ne-degree yakhe and they get to look at it every morning. But that's just it. You have a
Sad
degree,
story.
but awuphangeli. So for you, how was that transition from graduate, from student to graduate, and then what?
Sure. After graduation, I had an internship. Actually,
Okay.
I applied for an internship and I got it. Then I was working. I was working at Home Affairs actually on this at supply chain
Okay.
in Home Affairs here in town. So I was cruising nicely. Got my first salary. Didn't even know what to do with it.
How much was it?
Gave it to my mother.
Ah, yes.
Well, they were paying you based on your education.
Oh,
And
okay.
most internships now they do that.
Mm.
And I think it was about 5 point something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was about 5 points.
Back in the day, that's a lot of money.
It was actually
It's
a lot of money to the extent that I didn't even know what to do with it. Can you believe that I gave it to my mother?
Yonke? Hey, yo! I hope my mom is not watching, Shem, because not Yonke. Yeah.
You know what? Living with 16 children, having to be the one who packs up lady that says I felt like even the mere fact that when I come back from school and make sure that the house is clean, like I was a big sister, I was a real big sister, yelling at people. So I felt like that wasn't enough because
Yes.
I've always known that she did more than enough for
Yes.
us. Like my mother went far beyond for us and even for other people. I mean, when I failed at science college to move to Unati, I didn't even fail because I wasn't studying or anything. I failed because instead of my mother paying for my school fees, she saw some woman that was on the street and then she took her in and then gave her money to start her life. My school fees money. You know, science college don't play.
And the science was
that, and it was beginning of the month. And this money was money that my father had given her to pay for my school fees. So she's not going to go back and ask for it.
Does your father know about this? Well, he does now.
Yeah, he definitely knew about it later because I told him.
No way.
So I failed because there were months where, well, my mom couldn't pay for my school fees, so I'd stay at home. So I'd miss like a lot of days and miss tests and whatnot. So they wouldn't make me rewrite. So that year I basically failed.
Sure. That I didn't even know. See, these are the things that we don't know about you guys. Guys, post tennis, you know, Facebook.
I know, you mustn't put everything out there on Facebook. Come on.
But these are the things that we learn from, though, you know, because yes, when you look up to somebody, you always look up to as in those about, oh, okay, sharp. They are successful and everything. And then the minute that you fail at something where now you compare yourself to them and like, but they've never failed. Not knowing that this person has failed in life to be where she is right now.
Exactly.
So thank you for that, by the way. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to tell people that.
My pleasure.
Thank you. You know, a lot of people appreciate that. And then internship. After internship, what did you do?
From the internship, I then was unemployed during the time of, because my internship ended. And actually it was the saddest thing because I thought, I'm working here, I'm jumping from here to there, and I'm seeing the line is long, like I'm doing the numbers. And actually the manager was like, you know what, I can't keep someone like you here, you're gonna die here. I was shattered. I was really shattered. I was really shattered to the extent that people didn't believe me when I was saying that actually the reason why I wasn't absorbed was because the manager said I would die there. And he can't keep someone like me there. And I'm just like, what do you mean in this economy?
Exactly.
I'm used to this money. I mean, at that time, I had my mother's TV that I hadn't fully paid, but I had fully paid like the wardrobes that I had bought for her.
Yes.
And I'm like, what am I going to do with this TV? How am I going to finish paying off this thing if this guy is saying this? But okay, since I did get an internship and I had applied, so I'm thinking I'm gonna apply for other jobs, and then I'm literally going to get a job because, okay, whatever he might have seen that made him think that he can't keep me here, then someone else will see it at an interview or something.
Yes.
But unfortunately, that wasn't the case because, wow.
Economy, yala chap.
I then decided, okay, it's not working out in East London. I'm not finding anything. This is now after a year, and decided to go to Joburg. I'm in Joburg. I'm walking around, and Joburg, everything is far.
Yeah.
Everything is just so far away, and it's hard to find a job. My sister's really helping me, and I'm now living with my younger sister. I'm living with my younger sister who got she got, what do they call it? She got headhunted.
Oh,
She
okay.
was taken from school straight to
Wow.
an internship, and from that internship, she was absorbed.
Employment.
And she just kept on
Yeah.
elevating and working hard, and she's really doing great. And she's my biggest fan. Yay! I'm staying here with my sister. She's encouraging me to apply. We're praying. Yay! I'm Bobby. Absolutely nothing. And I remember, because Joburg, like, it takes in that was good.
Yes.
It takes is good. And I remember just walking to the taxis, and I'm just like, you know what, God, I'm tired of you. I'm tired. I'm walking, and I'm almost getting blisters. And even there where I'm going, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a taxi. And even if I do get a taxi, there's tomorrow, dude.
True.
What's wrong with you? Already, you say Jeremiah 1 verse 1, you knew me from my mother's womb, so come on. You take me out of my mother's womb, and
for this,
like, I'm really struggling, and I really just want a good life.
Yeah.
And I sat and I thought, what's a good life? Like, it was a very long walk.
Yes.
So probably anyone who was passing through that day while they're in a car, they thought, okay, that one's great. Because literally I was having a conversation. And also that just cemented my faith in God, because in that moment I knew he was there. Like, there were other instances where I knew he was there, but in that instant I just knew he was there. Even though he never gave me like a direct answer of what I would exactly be doing. But there was an audible voice that said, you're going back to East London, you're going to do great things. There's nothing for me in East London. What do you mean? Go back to East London and do great things. So I'm walking, I'm having these conversations where I'm like, I'm not going back to East London.
Yeah.
Because what do you mean I'm going back to East London? What am I going to go back to East London and go and do?
True.
Eventually I find a job. And they were looking for sales rep. I became a sales rep. There were other business analysts there. They were economists in that college. It was like a college to help people to trade.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we here met some great people, made friends. I remember there was a guy who was doing masters who was like, okay, best thing for you is to go do your honors with UNISA. And they were really great in giving advice, because he thought that I would eventually get into training like them, because I was grasping everything. I was a fast learner there, and I seemed to really also with the cold calling. I would get appointments. And with these appointments, a few people actually bought. And in them buying into this thing, I realized, yay, this is Joburg. And I had actually brought this thing to East London. It hadn't landed in the Eastern Cape yet. So when I pitched it to my boss, she was like, let's do this. Okay. And it's really still working out for them. And what I like is that they've upskilled themselves, and now they've turned it into training instead of just trading for people or teaching people how to trade. They're like doing business, economics, and trade, like I did at honors level. Yay. Now my people are, I remember there was a lady who was like, okay, Yami, I'm convinced. And it was officers and chiselers. I'm convinced. I'm quitting my job.
What?
Okay, the commission is going to be great, but this lady is talking of quitting her job and buying this thing from me. And I went back and I spoke to a friend of mine who was actually doing the trainings. And it's like, hey, Yami, it's by chance, it's by God's grace, it's by favor. If you are walking with favor, if she really has the Holy Spirit within her, then this thing will work out for her. But if she's desperate and chancing and whatnot, this thing is not going to work out, because it needs people who have time to learn, time and money.
Yes.
Okay. So now I go back to this lady because I'm supposed to be signing off the contract. I remember that day I didn't have all the papers. I asked my boss for the papers, and I go back to her and I'm asking her, are you sure? She's like, yes, I'm sure. Are you sure? She's like, yes, I'm sure. And I'm like, there's no going back once you've done this. She's like, yeah. Okay, fine. She buys from me, and life goes on for me, and I sell to other people as well. Next thing, I've got 4 people who want my head.
Oh.
Because I've sold them this thing. It's a little bit hard for them,
Yo.
and it's not really making money in the way
They thought it would.
they thought it would. And my heart was a little bit sore, I won't lie. And I told this to my boss, and my boss was like, if you're going to be a sales rep, you need to grow a thick skin.
True.
If you're going to be a sales rep and you're going to have feelings and you're going to be about God, this ain't for you. Then I decided right there and there that, okay, this is not for me.
Yeah.
But then also at the same time, I was now sitting at home. I came back to East London and I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I remember I was at church, and at church, there were a lot of things that were happening, especially because of higher graduate.
Yes.
And so they were giving out water to the graduates that were standing by the robots. So I'm part of the serving team, and I'm also giving out water. And I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, I'm part of these graduates who are looking for a job. Actually. So if no one comes to these robots, because usually people stand by the robots and no one gives them a 2 rand. And because we are there giving out water, I'm conversing with them, just like me and you were engaging before the show. Like, then if this doesn't work out, what else can you do? And I found out what these people, they are others are selling sweets, scones around.
Yeah.
Some actually have graphic skills, photography skills. So they are people who can actually start businesses. So initially, while I was also just looking for a job, I thought, maybe because I'm also looking for a job, I can assist other people in looking for jobs as well. So I thought I would get into a business of helping other people to look for jobs. Only to find out that with my business degree from Forte, actually I can partner with CIPC and help other people register businesses.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so now we have these registered businesses. Now what? Okay, people need funding. Okay, can I assist? Okay, I did do business management. I did do business plans, feasibility study. I'm trained in this. So, okay, I can assist. And then I started having clients to do business plans. And then those businesses now were growing. And also now I am walking from Southernwood to Vincent to go sit at McDonald's and have business meetings.
Wow.
I'm sitting there with 1 coffee. I remember there was a lady who knew me, and she's like, I go sit in my corner there. Eventually the business grew, and I now needed to communicate with my people. And you know, Moss, if you have a landline, you are a proper business.
Are you a proper business?
So I got myself a Wi-Fi router, and then it came with a phone. And it's attached to the router.
Yes.
So my phone would actually ring at McDonald's while I was sitting with clients and make calls while sitting at McDonald's.
It was your office, Mosnyan.
McDonald's
it was your office.
McDonald's was my office. And then my pastor found out that actually there's a girl who's trying to start up her own business. And actually at this church, what they like to do and what they're still doing is that of developing people in the journeys that they're walking.
Yes.
So that was really a great support. So my pastor was like, okay, you can actually be here at church from Monday to Friday. And that's how Young Business Solutions took off. For 5 years, I was running from a church building.
It was a blessed business. Business was just
It definitely was. You know what? I look at it and I'm like, okay, you definitely did provide, even though I didn't trust the process.
Yes.
I definitely didn't trust the process. And also, I forgot that I come from a background of business. Then I shouldn't have left. But if I didn't leave, that conversation with God and me knowing that this guy is here, like he's real, then it wouldn't have happened. Like my struggle that day, because it was really a huge wrestle. And in that moment, I didn't know that I would start a business. I honestly didn't. So I always tell people sometimes that it was actually by chance or it was the circumstance. Well, actually, looking at it, I'm like,
yeah, it was bound to
happen. In
happen.
high school, I was selling, so it was bound to happen, really. So it was just a matter of me not knowing when to sit and introspect and look at who am I?
Yes.
Where do I come from?
Mm,
Where do I come from? Because this thing comes from my great grandparents.
exactly.
Who passed it on to my grandmother and grandfather, who they passed it on to my uncle and his wife, and they are doing a great job. And they're upscaling the business and making sure that it stays alive. It's a legacy.
True.
So we take these things for granted, yet it's something that's going to feed our children and our children's children.
And honestly, it's something that, especially in the Black community, we don't have that, whereby there's a business that is being passed down generations to generations. We don't have
that. Is so true. Someone was saying to me the other day, Yami, did you ever think that you would do business plans for people? Or do you know anyone in your family that ever did a business plan? And I'm just like, no, but I remember my grandmother saying that my grandfather had to ask for money at Deba Bank for them to revive the business and make sure that it is what it is today, for the continuation of the business when they took over it. And I'm like, that was most probably a proposal of a business plan, because they had to say, how are they going to pay this thing back?
True.
Most probably it was taken from his salary, but somehow there had to be a proposal or a business plan.
Yeah. They had to convince
And you know what? That was, I also just think of the power in my grandfather, because Nkomo was a real G. Because that money he gave it to my grandmother.
Love
basically
it.
Because she was the one who managed the business.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you think you'll marry me and then not when it comes to money. I'm joking. The day I get married, yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to getting married.
It's a beautiful thing. Marriage is beautiful. It's challenging. It's got its challenges. I've always wanted to have children.
Okay.
In a marriage setup. And I'm so glad also that I waited for that, because when I was pregnant, my feet were swollen up. My husband hates touching feet, but he had to, because I'd look at him like, you did this.
Yeah.
We're here because of you. We're here because of you. But you know what? In us being in a marriage with its challenges, with its beauties as well. I mean, yesterday we dropped off my daughter at my mom's place. We went to Vascom. We were there laughing, having fun together, going home and deciding we're not taking the daughter.
Love it.
It's just us. Woke up this morning, went to church together. It was just us two. And you know what? I was like, we're going to make it to 50-year anniversary, 40-year anniversary, because I could already taste it and see it. Our daughter's not with us, but you know what? We are still connected.
Yes.
We are still in love. We are communicating, even though I noticed that our communication shifted from when we were single.
Oh, yes.
And then we were as partners. Then we moved from being partners to being married, living together, and us having to learn what ticks him off and him learning what ticks me off. And I've just noticed that, my poor husband, he's gracious, he's humble, he's patient with me. He's very patient with me, very, very patient with me. I think even with our daughter, he's the one that's more patient. And I was just like, you know what? Marriage is beautiful. And with the feeling that I got this morning when we were even going to church together, was that we never have this of me and him sitting together.
Oh, yes.
Because we have a toddler, and the toddler flames. The other day she was right there with the pastor.
How old is she?
She's 2.
Oh yeah, you're terrible twos.
And we are going through the terrible twos right now. It's a lot. So the seasons though change.
Yes.
I noticed that I'm not the very same person that I was when I was single. I'm not the very same person that I was when
yes.
Now that I'm a neck. If he is turning this side, okay, we're turning this side. And I must support that we are turning this side, even if I don't want to turn this side. Even that takes a lot of grace. It takes courage as well. And one thing he's taught me is that I'm the kind where I leave with arguments.
Okay.
If I'm not winning, I leave. I pack my things.
Hi, no sis.
I pack my things and I go. And time after again, he's come to fetch me.
I love it.
Time and time again, he's certified. He's certified me that and assured me that he's in this for the long haul. So your marriage is beautiful, especially if the two of you are investing in it. So
True.
definitely
Hey.
go for it.
We'll
Go
see.
for it.
I will see. Don't worry.
Go for
But
it.
it is something that I would definitely look into and want in my life. I'm very family orientated. Kakulu, the three most important people in my life: my mom, my sister, and my niece. Those three women, very important to me. So they've taught me the value of family. Now I'm the only male in Kaya. I've always been that guy whereby it's always women, even if it's cousins or makazi, but most of the time I've always been the only guy. And it has taught me so much just how to value women. Like with my niece,
Your wife is gonna be
she's
very
gonna be
happy.
very lucky. That one, hey, in fact, you know what?
Oh,
I've
okay.
decided.
Okay.
But with my niece, we are in respect. I've never shouted at her, zange ndambetha, but if she does something wrong, the first person she's going to look at is me. And then that I'm so sorry, Malum. Now she calls me daddy. I don't know why. It was as a school. Now I'm daddy, especially if she wants something. Daddy, I'm like, oh, and I know
I love her. I love her.
she's
picked
my
up
pride
on the
and
womanly
joy.
characters and how to
Already
speak
she's
to a
there.
guy.
Already she's there. But she's taught me so much. She's really taught me so much. And Gabina Wamumdana, but the experience that I've gotten from her, I think I'm gonna be a good father.
You definitely will be. Wait on it. Wait on the Lord. Also, don't do it yourself. Because here's the
Yes.
thing that we do as people is that we move away from God and we do our own thing.
Oh.
When we do our own thing, it becomes challenging.
Yes.
You know, with marriage, there are challenges and whatnot, but what makes it beautiful is that of its light.
Yes.
Because this is not my doing. And you know, my friend Pauls was saying, even in your praying, when you're praying for things that are happening, also say to God, God, this is your person.
Yes.
Deal with your person.
Yes.
And it's very easy to say, God, deal with your person because you gave me this person.
True.
And you gave me this person for a reason. And also that of my friend was telling me, Vicky, she was saying, also have the grace to say, Lord, help me to become the person that is full of grace.
Yes.
For this person that you've given me, because we're learning. And you know what? Even with business, we learn as we move.
Yes.
So even with marriage, as long as you've got your principles and your values intact, yes, then it's going to be easier to sail through and work out through things. Yeah, but it will be easier to work out through things because all other things will just need a conversation. Everything just needs a conversation because you are working through and you're changing. And also money changes. One biggest thing that I learned from my sister, she's very young but full of wisdom. She was telling me that actually in marriage there are seasons. You just need to be content in the season that you're in. And also just to work through, because she was saying there was a time where she earned more than her husband, and she was really humbled when her husband earned more than her. Yes. And then at some point the roles changed, and then at some point it was just the two of them there together. And she says that both of them got there together because they were able to manage their money properly. Yes. She was open with her finances with her husband, even though it was hard now that she was earning less. And her husband was gracious enough also to open up about his finances, even though he knew that he was earning more. And even when he was earning less, when the roles were changed, she says that it just continued and it was simultaneous.
Love it. Guys, Aisha, you've made me want to get married. I think I need to look at my options now. Let's just.
Beautiful.
One thing I've noticed about you, though, is, and which I think is the reason why you thrive so much in business, it's also the reason why you thrive in your marriage. You are a very likable person.
Oh, thank
You
you.
have a welcoming spirit about you.
And I hope everyone says that.
Everyone does, including those people there. We have a couple of messages. We have Uzenai. Oh, not Lefani.
My God.
This surname. Yazi, this surname. I think I'm gonna do that now. Makaka Tesh. I'm gonna look for another one. But she's saying, yes, Yum Yum, I'm listening. I'm here. You're doing a great job, girl. You really are doing a great job.
Thank you. That's Andana, the one I was telling you
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Yes,
This
that's Andana
makes
that I was
sense
telling you
now.
about. You see how supportive my family
Your family is really
Yes.
supportive.
Thank you,
Well, they're
Andana.
saying, I'm listening, yum yum. Other people are celebrating.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
and then there's Ukam, but we are alive. We are alive. Ukam is doing this thing where he's running now. And then Afuni
annoying
Coke.
us.
I'm like, this guy, Gambo, what are you doing?
I laughed so hard.
Afuni Coke. What are you doing?
I laughed so hard when he said that, but also he's on to something.
Yes.
After running, you really just want.
After he runs, you're
not helping.
me and business.
You're not helping. You see, my people are out here.
Your people.
Who's posted to my sister. My cousins are here. The Gomas are here. Not Temba, she raised me.
Oh wow! Okay.
And Imbeu, my aunt was currently looking after the general store. Currently,
oh yes,
she's really doing a great job keeping up the family legacy. That one.
And Shem, they're really being supportive.
Yeah,
really,
the governors
really
are here, the entrepreneurs are here about Toma. I'm so grateful for the community of East London for the mere fact that we back each other.
Very much.
We back each other. We find each other and back each other.
That we do, Shem. Cool. There's one more thing that I would like to ask from you. And this is a moment where now I want everything to just go silent.
Okay.
And I would like for you to go back to that young lady or I think hot dogs. And then what things are my
Okay.
What would you say to that young lady now?
Sure. I think I'd say you've lived it up. You've made your mother proud. Because I've always just lived to make my mother proud because, she's worked so hard. She's got such a big heart.
Yes.
There's nothing she didn't do for us. There's absolutely nothing she didn't do for us. And, in her living her own life and raising us.
Yes.
She later on graduated.
Oh.
With that one, when she graduated, I was just like, there's nothing this woman wouldn't do. Yeah. And she graduated after all of us.
Imagine.
She made sure that we're all graduates.
And then
she graduated.
I love that.
When she did that, I was like, kudos to her. I mean, also just climbing up a ladder, which is also something that I love about my husband. He's a self-made man. My mother is self-made in the mere fact that she got into the post office and she just leveled up. I grew up with her being a manager.
Yes.
I just grew up with her being a manager. I've known her to be a manager of the post office in her branch for like the longest time in my life. And then when she graduated, I was just like, okay. Okay. On top of working so hard from the ground up. And you know what she did? She took courses. If there was an opportunity for development at the post office, my mother was on top of it. Her office was getting what do they call it? Trophies.
Oh yes.
Yes, she was getting trophies. Her hard work was really showing up. Was really showing off. And you know what? All of those to her actually meant nothing. I remember she was talking because I would go to her office and do my homework and whatnot. Yes. And I remember she was talking to a very dear friend, Anne Anthea, who basically also raised us from underneath the desk at post office. And she was like, all of this, Anthea, means absolutely nothing that we are doing here if your children are not okay and you are not okay.
Oh, I love that.
And that has stuck with me. And you know what? In the way that I live, I want to live in a way that I want to be an example for my daughter and my children to come. I want them to want to make me proud. Because in my mother living her life, I mean, I don't think she knows this, but she made us proud, which made us want her to be proud of us.
As well.
In the way that she worked so hard, I made sure that she came to our home full with a lot of children that she didn't have to take care of, but she did it out of loving her sisters. You know, I made sure that the house was clean. There was food on the table because she was providing us food. So
Yes.
the best thing I could do is make her job easy.
Love it.
Of being a mom.
Love it. And you've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
And speaking of making people proud, I hope you've made yourself proud.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. When we started the show, you spoke about my success, and I feel like I haven't made it yet. I think I'm getting there. I think I'm definitely getting there. There are a few things that I want to get into, spaces that I want to penetrate through, development that I want to bring into the Eastern Cape as well. So it's not success yet, but I love the recognition. I love the recognition to the extent that it grabbed your attention, because I'd watch your shows because you brought phenomenal people like Abo Gambu, Abo Siandev. There's a lot of people that you have interviewed that are doing amazing things in our city. And literally, we don't have to go outside of the Eastern Cape.
We don't.
We don't have to go outside of the Eastern Cape to go get things or people to come and make the Eastern Cape
Exactly.
great. We are the Eastern Cape's most greatest. So,
I love it. Sissy, thank you so much.
It is my pleasure.
Thank you. And you know what? Thank you for the work that you're doing. I said this in the beginning of the show that even if it doesn't feel like people are watching, we are watching.
People are definitely watching.
We're watching.
One like.
One like, it's fine. It's okay. We're watching and we are happy. We are proud. One thing about me, I'm very strict.
Oh,
extremely strict. When it comes to this show
your masterpiece.
This is my masterpiece. This is my baby. So you must know, if you come to this show, you are doing amazing.
I'm honored.
We are looking up to you. Like I said, I have a niece who's 4. And you are one of the women I would love my niece to be exposed to as she grows up. That's
I definitely have made it in life. If there are people that people would like to introduce me to,
definitely,
because of who I am and how I've portrayed myself, it means okay, I'm almost there.
No, you're definitely almost there. So I just want to say that as East London, as Eastern Cape, and as South Africa, we appreciate you.
Wow.
You're doing an amazing job. Even in the days where it doesn't seem like you're doing an amazing job, do not forget that you're doing an amazing job. And you can call us at any time. Ute Asanda, I don't feel like getting up. Talk to me, and I will talk to you.
Oh wow, that's one thing about the Eastern Cape, is that we have each other like that. So I'll definitely hold you up to that.
Most definitely. Sissy, let me love and leave you. It's Sunday, but it's Sundays are for lovers.
God bless to everyone who watched us today, took out their time to really support us. They must continue supporting the show, because other great people, I know for a fact because I watched the show, are going to be here. So if you've been supporting today and writing us messages, make sure that next week you do the same thing.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry.
But honestly, I wouldn't mind. Even if next time we see you on this show, maybe you'll be here as a co-host. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Otherwise, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining the show. And a beautiful journey, man. A really beautiful journey. Beautiful story. Beautiful show. Everything was just beautiful about today. And it's what I love the most. It's really what I love the most. And as you know, guys, I'm a happy gent, especially if I'm in front of you guys. Always a happy gent. And like I always say, let's start the new week with... just start afresh, man. This new week, whatever happened the weekend is fine. It's not a problem. It happens. But this week, let's start afresh. And I wish you nothing but the best, man. I really wish you nothing but the best. My name is Asanda Makaka, the modern clever himself. I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Peace and love.
No matter the weather,